So first of all, good morning everyone. Welcome to this video, and my name is Ritesh. And basically today we are going to discussing about the very interesting topic in the C++ programming world. That first one is we are going to discussing about the dynamic objects. Okay, so this is the funda about that. And what are you going to see in this video? And then next and then finish. So our folder have to the created, it is a project have to create it. Okay, so this one is our by default codes in this main file. Okay, and what are we going to see that today we are just going to in C++ we are going to discuss about dynamic objects in a C++. Okay, so let's see. So first of all we must have to the class for the objects. Okay, so class is what? Class is just like a blueprint. Okay, so blueprint was just like a layout. Okay, so layout means we are just going to say that only building of the our house, only the layout, only the pillars. Okay, so I'm just giving the class name as a, I'm just taking a. Okay, and this is the creating the syntax of the class. And all this data by default, all this data will be as the public mode, as the private mode in the our C++ classes. Okay, so I'm just giving here that is a public mode first of all. Okay, so after the public access specifier I'm just taking the some variable here. So int types of the variable I'm just taking that is a roll number. Okay, so I'm just taking the here class name as the employee emp. No, I am just taking a student because roll number is here. Okay, so I have to take in one variable as an integer types, and second one I am just taking as an array of the characters. So I don't need to I don't need to take the array of the characters. I can directly also take the a string in the C++. So I'm just taking the string types of the variable name variable, that is a. Okay, so after that roll and name, we have two types of the data here. We are going to store and we will also print out. We will show also. Okay, so after these things, what can we do? We can create the different functions, methods inside the class, which when we are going to create the function, that time that one we call the method. Okay, so I'm just creating the one method that is a set data I have to create it. And inside this, what am I going to do? Roll number is going to assigning. Okay, through the roll number is going to assigning through the roll number 2. Okay, and then the roll number 3 is going to assigning by the roll number 3. Sorry for that, name is assigning through the name 2. So this is the syntax for the, here we are going to creating one set data method. So we must have to pass the declare to data as a integer types, and the second one is a string type. There is a roll number 2, and the second one is the string type of the data will be name 2, because we are going to taking the data here. When we are going to passing here, if we will pass the data here through this main function, so at a time what will happen, data will become here. We will pass the values also inside for these arguments. So these arguments will be take these values and assign here. Okay, so that one will be assigned here. And after that, what am I going to do? Then I am just going to, we can also take another variable for the printing the value, but I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm just want to show you that in the main function that how can we do. Okay, so I'm just going to create the one object as a glue, as a dynamic, that is a runtime object I am just creating here. So for the create the runtime object, I need to class name, class and class name, and then new, and then I'm just, so how can we create the objects? So we must have to understand. So this one is a syntax error, maybe error. Okay, so this one is I am just taking here, that is a obj, and then new, after that a student. This is the funda about that, how can we do that. Okay, so we can see that here is the our syntax for the creating the object. Okay, so we can also take the class, and also we can if you don't want, we can also do that. Okay, so after the creating the object at the runtime, so do you know that what's happening here? If we are creating the object for our class, at that time the links, if you are going, we have to create this object at that time, what's happening, all these things, all these blocks have to the active, that when then that because the main reason here that, suppose that this one is the all these things are the employee, these two things variable, suppose that employees, and this one is the owner. Okay, so at that time what will happen, if anyone will be under it, if a owner is coming to the companies, any company, so at that time what will be happen, all these employees will be active mode, in the active mode. So at same as here, if we are going to create the object means owner, so at a time all these objects have to active. Okay, and then what am I going to do, obj, and then I'm just, after that I'm just going to use the uh, this operator, that is a, you can say that arrow operator. Okay, because this one is also the same as the dot operator, this one is also accessing, but here we must have to use the this operator, that's the arrow operator. Okay, because the main reason is here that we are going to assigning that runtime values, so this one is a syntax for that. Okay, so I am just giving the values runtime, at the runtime this one is going to assigning the value for this variable. Okay, I don't need to do that, I am just going to cut it. Okay, cut these lines, so I have to assign the roll number, and after that I am just going to use the for the assign the name, so I am just giving the name as a Ritesh Sivan. Okay, so this is the funda about the assigning the value, assigning the object to the variable, and after the assigning we must have to print out, we must have to show all these things, so see out, and then obj with this operator, that is I'm just giving the name, roll number, and then I am just giving the name also. Okay, so what will happen, we must have the object reference. So this one is our code for the, how can we, all this data will be how for the these codes, all these codes, these two codes is mainly used for the assigning the values, assigning the objects here, and these two codes is lines is mainly used for the printing the values, that is showing the values. Okay, so let's see, so no any errors, no any warnings, and after the compiling I'm just going to run this source code. So let's run. So we can see here that 44 and Hitesh Sivan have to the printed. So this is the funda about the runtime or dynamic object in the C++. So this is the funda, main funda is here. Main funda is here, that what, how to syntax for create runtime object, runtime object. Okay, so object means what, object means different things here. Object means, you can also say in the different angle of the view, that is a object means the variables, in a different point of view you can also say that object means link. Okay, here object means link, and here objects, these are also objects. So I want to show you something here, that let's use the dot operator, then what will be happen, we are going to see. So we can see here that we are getting one error, that is a request for member roll number is object in object which is of the pointer type. So this one is going to say that we must have to use the this pointer, not that pointer. Okay, so we have to use the arrow operator. Okay, and suppose how to create the, do you know that how to create the dynamic, no, static types of the objects? So this one is also very simple. A student and then object name. So I'm just taking as a obj2. So this is the syntax. This syntax is very simple here. Obj2 dot, I'm just, after this one, after the assigning these values, we have to print out. Okay, and after these things, I am just going to giving the using the object2 variable, object2 link. Okay, object, and again, uh, again I am just going to assigning the some values. So I have to assign the roll number as a 101, and obj2 and dot name I am just assigning the Rabi. Okay, so what will be happen, we are going to see. So at that time, if we will use the object2, okay, so that time we must have to use the dot operator. No, we must have to use the dot operator. No any types of the this pointer or the this pointer, don't no, use that at that time. Arrow operator is not need for that. Okay, so I'm just going to again printing the value of the name. So this is the funda about that how can we do that. And here I am just giving the end using for the new line. So let's see that what will be the output. So here we can see that 44 and then Ritesh Sivan and 101 is here and Ravi is here. So now this time we have the different objects contains the different things. Okay, so I hope that you are thinking that this one have to the replaced all these objects. All these objects have to the replaced by because of the these things. So this one is not happening here. You can see. You can see here. Okay. So I'm just using the end and after that I'm just going to, I'm just printing the value of the obj2, printing the value with the help of the arrow operator obj, and arrow operator is here name and roll number. So what will happen, we are going to see. Sorry for that, here we will use the obj. Okay, so compile and run. So we can see that again we are going to getting the Ritesh Sivan and 44. That's the same as the whatever we have to assign the as the first time. So main reason is here that because there are mainly two objects. So for the different objects, different values have to the assigned. Okay, so this is the funda about that. So this is the meaning of the statics and the dynamics objects. Okay, so this is the syntax of the creating the syntax for the create the runtime object or the dynamic object, and this syntax for the create the static object, a static object creation. Okay, so this is a fun day about all these things here. So I hope that you have the clarity all these things in this video. Whatever you have any types of the question, you can ask me with the help of the description box. Okay, so I hope that you have to enjoy this video, and whatever you have to learn